an international leadership development firm that empowers leaders to transform nations, and your provincial Fathers Union president. What a joy to have you today as we talk about a father and his children's talents. I saw a message recently on WhatsApp. A young man was writing, and he said they always told us that education is the key. And then he said, but when I look at how much money the footballers in Europe in the English Premier League are earning, I realize football is the master key. Today we are talking about a father and his children's talents. And with me in the studio is none other than a fellow father who has children that are talented. Mr. Martin Sabiiti Rwabihurwa, the CEO of Uganda Christian Lawyers Fraternity. Martin, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much for having me and for that wonderful introduction with the story. I think it is very, very inspiring, and it is very true that really footballers in the world are earning a lot of money. And in general terms, sports personalities, entertainment, people who are in the entertainment industry,
yes,
they are making a lot of money, and most of it is based on talent. Yeah.
And so let's begin exactly there.
Yes,
when we talk about talents, in your view, what are talents and how different are they from skills and gifts?
Okay, talents, a natural ability that somebody possesses to do something very well.
Yes.
So it's a natural thing that they are born with.
Okay.
You know, so you can't take it away. It is embedded in them.
Okay.
And but of course, sometimes or most times it requires to be discovered.
Yes.
It requires to be nurtured. It requires to be given room to be able to display itself.
Yes.
So that is really what talent is all about.
Okay, so it's inborn. It is natural.
Yes, it is natural.
Somebody comes into the world with it.
Yes.
Okay.
And a skill is something that it's an ability also, but this ability of a skill is something you can learn along the way.
Even if you were not born with it.
Yes, even if you are not born with it, it is something you can learn along and be good. And you have that capacity to do something. So a skill is learned. It can go away eventually when you stop, you know, working at it. But a talent is something that you will remain with. It may not. It may be undeveloped, or it may be lying low. But definitely you stay with it.
You stay with it.
Yeah.
Yet for the skill, you learn it like. Maybe let's use examples here to make the clarification even deeper. So when we say talents, let's get some examples. Some people have talents
in music, for example. They are good singers. Somebody can be a good singer,
having a nice voice,
good voice. Yeah, he has a good voice. He can sing very well. Yeah. He's an entertainer. He may not have a good voice, but you know when he or she gets the mic or gets on the stage, he has
a charisma on the stage.
Yes, he has charisma on the stage. Even public speaking is one of those.
For some people.
Yes, it comes naturally. They do it without, you know, struggling. And so you can see that it comes to them in a natural way. So those are some of the talents we can talk about.
I realize that while these are talents, to some people they can actually be skills.
Absolutely. They can learn them. They can learn them. You know, somebody can learn to entertain, and then they entertain. But you know, the guy who does, we used to have when I was at St. James Chapel in Moves, we used to have a young man who leading worship was so natural. He would just get a mic and from anywhere start singing, and it would come naturally. Other people would see that they are really trying hard you know, to lead and to be good, to appear. But for him, it was just flowing.
Yes,
it was just flowing.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I hear you.
Yes, sir.
So what I'm hearing, therefore, is that with talents, they are naturally inborn abilities.
Yes.
With the skills, they are artificially learned and acquired through practice and training and so on and so forth.
Yes.
All right. Now, we are living in a world that glorifies academic prowess, academic achievement. If you want to know how this happens, look at when the National Examinations Board releases the results. And then you see how sometimes parents, sometimes teachers are lifting their children in the air. My son got 4 aggregates in 4 subjects, or got 20 in 20. It's good to celebrate, but you realize it is quite over-glorified. So in a world where academic achievement is so much glorified, why is it important for us as parents to focus on the talents of our children?
Okay, so the world is changing. There's no doubt about that. Of course, when you go to countries that are developed, like the United States, the Europe, and the developed world, they no longer glorify academic excellence and education. It's just here that in Uganda and Africa that we still focus on education, mainly academic education, because of our historical challenges.
Yes.
For example, if you are an artist in the US and you write your song, you produce it, you sing it, you release it out there, you can earn from that song for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
It is not the case.
Yes, I had a story, Martin. Yes. It was last week, actually.
Yeah.
There is a radio somewhere, it's called Leadership Radio Africa.
Yes.
So I was listening to it. I listen to it almost every morning at about 5:30 a.m. And this gentleman was speaking, and then he talked about a certain lady somewhere there in the Western world who composed some Christmas song, a Christmas song, and now these are many years down the road.
Yes.
But every Christmas season, she is sure of between $6 to $8 million on her account.
You see,
because every time her song is played, there is money coming into.
Yes, absolutely. And this is the problem we have. The rights, the patent rights, the copyrights of these artists, for example, people who are naturally talented and they can sing.
Yes.
For example, if you look at Judith Sabiiti, she produced wonderful music, wonderful worship and praise music. But how much does she earn from it?
Just like many other musicians.
Yeah. So you find that parents look at at all those things, and they realize that the only way you can sustainably and survive in this country is through academic education.
So then why should we focus on the talents?
Yeah, but the world now is changing. We believe and we see that there is a future in some of these natural talents, like football, athletics. We already have Kiprotich, Kiptegei. These people are. They are earning a lot of money from some of those things. But also, when you look at the entertainment industry, when you look at for example, like the media, the personalities that are dominating the media today, if you go deep and dig into their history, they are talented, but also most of them attended Namasagari, which was focusing on Namasagari College, which was doing a lot of work on enhancing and developing the talents of people in entertainment. So the world is changing, and you can clearly see. You give a good example of football. These footballers are earning a lot of money. Earning a lot of money, almost the budget of Uganda. You find a footballer is earning it in a year. So, I mean, one football actually not even in a year, in a few months. And even boxing and all those things. And
people are talented in boxing.
And music.
Is boxing a talent?
Yes, people are talented. All those are really things, but there are other people who are talented in other areas. There are so many areas.
Like in mobilization, somebody can easily put people together.
Leadership, there are people who are so talented in leadership. Leadership comes naturally. Wherever they go, eventually they are influenced. They have influenced everybody around.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and they never went for a leadership course anywhere. They can't even define the word leadership, but they are effective leaders.
But they're just natural. It's that ability to lead, influence others to a particular direction comes to them naturally. So those that's the space you occupy to try and harness some of those talents, bring them up, so that these people can be great leaders in our society. So it is very, very important that much as we want children to go to school, but we also focus on developing their talent. There's a player who is currently playing at the Euros. I think it is Adagura from Turkey. It is said that he's still a teenager. I think, no, it is Yamal of Spain. I read a story that even now at the Euros, in the middle of the night, he's reading.
He's reading.
He's reading his books. So you can actually do these things together. That's why it was,
so he's playing in the league while at the same time still in school.
In the European Cup, or championship, but he's still in school studying. So you can still do that. That's why the education system was designed in a way that there has to be a time for games, there has to be a time for co-curricular activities. So those were opportunities for talent growth, talent identification, and talent, enhancement.
But now we have educational terrorism, terrorism, whereby children go to class, by 7 they have to be in class, some of them by 6:30 in the morning, and then they study the whole day. Then they go on to maybe up to 10 p.m. in the night, they are still reading. They have no time for co-curricular activities.
It's quite sad. And some of the schools that have been licensed to operate don't even have playgrounds.
Of course.
Don't even have... of course, some have tried. They don't have a swimming pool. Some have tried, to, bring in other things like dancing, like, chess that doesn't require a bigger field. But, so it is important that if you are to have an education institution, that you focus both on academic but also on co-curricular activities in order to identify the talent of these children, in order to grow the talent and give it opportunity to be utilized.
And now that you talk about identifying that talent, let's go to that. And specifically now in the context of the home. As a father, how can I be able to identify my child's talent?
Wow, thank you.
Because I think I want to develop what I haven't discovered. I have to first discover before I can develop.
Of course, that's important because you are the first school, you are the first teacher for your child. So the home is the first school for the children. And so as a father, you need to pay attention. First of all, you need to pay attention and watch your children as they play. Because children play a lot. So you have to pay attention and watch how they play. Then you'll be able to see who is talented in what. When they are playing, at that time when they are playing their games, you need to be attentive. So that is number one. Number one, to watch, but also to participate and play along, participate in their games. You need to find time and play with your children in order for you to discover. So have different games. First of all, you can deliberately have some games, but also you can let them watch, you participate in their games, or watch them as they play their own games. So in that process, you can identify somebody's talent. But also, especially as a Christian parent, my expectation is that as a Christian father, that there is an altar at your home.
What's that? For the sake of our viewers who may not be aware of what you're talking about. When you say an altar, do you mean that you kill some goats at home or what?
That's a jargon, but it's a time for prayer as a family. And so when you meet to pray, it is important that you give the children opportunity to lead in some of the items that are going to be part of the prayer. For example, singing, praise and worship, reading a verse. You can find that your child is talented in reading. He's a good reader of the lesson. So you can see, there are people who are talented in reading that it is easier for them to read There are people who are educated, but
Yes.
even if you give them a Bible to read, it's a tug of war. And then there are others, you just give them, they throw their eyes around the verses, and they just read as if it has been recorded in their heads.
Yes.
Yeah, so when they are singing the songs of worship, when you are leading prayers, when you're reading the scriptures, that is your opportunity to identify some of the talents that may be in the child, in the child, like singing, like leadership, like I have said already, reading.
Yes.
The third way you can identify your children's gift is to involve them in home chores, involve them in the work at home,
Yes.
but also if you are doing work elsewhere, you're a businessman, you are doing this, try to involve your children in what you are doing in work at home. Don't let your children just sit at home and watch TV. Give them chores, give them chores to do. And in that process of them participating and doing work at home, you will be able to see their talents will come out on display. You don't have to shout and say, hey, talent, come out. But once you give the opportunity, the talent will definitely show itself in the process of them participating in home chores. So don't allow your children to just sit there and watch TV and that kind of thing. So engage them. And once in a while, take them out. Don't allow them to play only at home.
Yes.
Let them also go out and play with other children and mingle and have opportunity. That's when you can see someone, your child is organizing the other children in a way that you cannot even imagine. And in that space, they are showing the talent they have.
Yes.
And and you can be in the community and they say, who wants to do this? It is your child who is volunteering themselves.
Yes.
So that is your opportunity. So when you are with your children out, please watch. Don't be distracted. Watch. You will definitely see. But also look at their work. Look at their school work. Try to see. Try to find out how they are performing. Also, sometimes complaining is an indication that there is something, that somebody has something that they are not utilizing. So when you see your child is always complains about something, in most cases they are trying to tell you that I can actually solve this issue. So don't just take complaints on face value.
They are indicators of something.
If they persist on a particular something, please pay attention. Try to find out, why is this child always saying this. She could or he could be saying that this is where I can be useful in this home. And there's a talent inside that is crying out. That is crying out.
It's looking for expression.
Yeah, but you can also ask questions. You can ask your children questions about what they like to do, what they enjoy, what they enjoy most. If they were to have a lot of free time, what would they like to do? Then you in that discussion, have time to discuss with your children one-on-one. Have a discussion. Try to interrogate. Try to dig deep. Try to ask intelligent questions. Try to in there you will find some hidden talents that you might not have seen.
Wow.
But the school also is one place that can help you to identify.
So we can actually seek feedback from their teachers who spend a lot of time with them to help us in identifying what they have seen.
Yes, absolutely.
There was one time a number of years ago when my daughter was still in kindergarten. Today she is in secondary school, and they wrote on the report, on the school report, the end of term report, that so and so is this and this and this, does well this, and he needs this and this, and then the teacher added and said, however, she talks too much in class. Now, somehow I quickly connected in my mind about the potential destiny of this girl. And in my mind I said, does this teacher actually know that her salary is paid from the school fees I pay, that I get from talking too much? I go all over the place as a global speaker, as a leadership consultant, as an executive coach. I am speaking, and I am paid to do that, and that's the money I use to pay fees from which they pay her. So for her, she looked at this girl from an angle of this is a negative trait.
Yes.
I was quick to realize this is a positive trait. It only needs to be regulated well, given better expression, given a sense of timing and environment, but not hit and looked at as a negative trait in the child. And this makes me curious. Are all children born with talents? Does everybody have a talent, or talents are an exclusive right of a few privileged ones?
Everyone.
And by the way, I'm asking that because I've had people say, now look at me, Sam. Which talent? I have no talent. For me, at least for you, you are talented in this, you are talented in that. You are, but for me, as you can see, I have no talent.
Oh my God. A human being is so rich. A human being is so rich in a lot of talent. It's just that people, the key issue here is discovery. But there's a lot of talent. But, you know, so to answer that question is that to assure you that every child, every human being has talents. God has given talents. We call them natural. So everyone is born with that natural thing. For us Christians, we believe that God has made you in a special way for a particular purpose, that without you doing that purpose, nobody else can do it. And so there's no way how you could do it without a talent. So everyone has a talent.
So in other words, you're saying that God gives each one of us talents as natural abilities to fulfill purpose on earth.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's why Proverbs 18:16 says that a man's gift creates room for him and sits him among the great.
Yes. So everyone has a talent. What is important? Discover your talent.
Okay.
But also, people tend to focus on what they don't have. They focus on what they see in others, and they fail to see what they themselves have. And that's why sometimes they say, me, I'm not talented. And they are comparing themselves to you and say, you look at yourself, you are talented in that. And so they fail to look at themselves. But one of the ways that also you can discover your talent is to ask people to tell you what have they seen in you, what have they seen. So in case somebody comes to you and is complaining that he has no talent, at least is even referring to you that at least for you have this and this. If you also have seen something in them, please point it out. Point it out.
Okay.
So that they know, and they are able to now begin to focus on developing it. So it's a question of ignorance and comparison.
Okay, so the fact that I haven't discovered my talents doesn't mean those talents aren't there.
Exactly. It's like when there's power in the house, but you can be in darkness if you don't switch on.
Exactly.
If you don't place that switch. Analogy. You are going to be in darkness, but that does not mean there is no power in the building. Power is there,
indeed,
but you just need to switch on.
Wow.
So as fathers, that is what we can help our children, to help them discover their talents and assure them that they have those talents, develop them, so that by the time they are old enough, they know.
Okay. I like the analogy of switching on. Because indeed there could be electricity. The wiring is okay, electricity is there, but if I do not switch on, I will stay in the darkness. Same thing, right here where we are, there is music. Right now there is a lot of music here, but you know we are not hearing it because we have not tuned into the frequency of a certain station that is playing that music.
Exactly.
So what I'm hearing here is that discovery of talents is like switching on so that the light gets on. Or it is like tuning into the right frequency of life in order to have the music of life play.
Yes.
And now that we have talked about discovering, helping the children to discover their talents, and you as a father also discovering their talents, I believe that if we only discover them and we do nothing about them, they will stay raw, they will be unusable, they will not be deployed, and so they won't be helpful or useful either to the person with the talents or to the people around them.
Yes.
So in that regard, how can a father support the child in developing their talents?
Thank you very much. One of the things that we talked about some time back is that as a father, you are a promoter of your child.
Yes.
You are the one responsible to promote your children. In terms of, not in terms of ranks, but you know how you promote a product. So you
creating awareness about it.
Exactly. You create awareness about this talent, but also try to create opportunities to develop it. For example, if you have, I will come back to you. If you have a complaint from the teacher that your child talks too much in class, and for you think, oh, you have known that now I am earning from talking too much, and my daughter already is being accused of speaking too much. Maybe this is also her area. So instead of allowing that comment from the teacher to put her down, you find a way of how to actually encourage him.
Actually, about 6 years later,
yes,
she won a speaking competition. She got a gold medal for speaking.
Fantastic. So you don't let other, like that comment put her down, but also don't be too much academically focused, because if you are too much academically focused, I believe you are going to scold her and say, you, why do you talk too much in class? But you just have to know that besides academics, there are other things that children can do. And so also when you know that your children are participating in something, please go there and support them. Be there. Be present as a father.
Yes.
When, like today, there was a sports day.
Yes.
For the school where my children go. So we had to go there with them.
So you also went there?
Yes. So you have to cheer.
I thought you only have to send the mother to go and be at the school. For me, I am busy looking for money. Because that's what I hear a lot among men.
No, you have to be there, and when they are participating, you cheer them up. You spend time with them. If they are, if it's something that they have to develop from home, put in the time.
Yes.
Be there with them. Try to support them. Try to encourage them. Be an encourager. Don't be a discourager. Be an encourager, because you are the promoter.
Yes.
So education is another way through which you can help a child to develop their talent.
Formal education.
Yeah, formal education. You take them to school. And as they are in school, they get opportunities to put their talent on display, and even so in schools have academic teachers, but they also have teachers for co-curricular activities. So those teachers are also there to teach. So let your child go through formal education in order to develop their talent, but also look for some other informal arrangements for your children to study. Informal, I mean, they may not get a certificate for it, recognized by the government or your neighbor, whatever, but it is something. Take them to music school, for example. Take them to a soccer academy.
Yes.
I mean, try out, if you have seen something and you know where that talent can be enhanced, take them there, either during the holiday or over the weekend. Take them there. Okay, take your children to places where there is a lot of games. Give them opportunity to explore all these different games, and then in that, so like these places where children go, there are so many things, swimming, and all those things. Take them there, and in that process, when you see your child has liked something, please keep taking them there. Pay some money, put in some money. The other thing you can do is to get them a mentor or a coach. Get them a mentor or a coach to coach them. If you have seen something in public speaking and you know that there is somebody who can coach this child, or maybe it is music, and you want them because of the music talent you've seen them, you want them to go through some voice training, or even to learn the keyboard. Take them there. Take them there, and let them learn. Let them learn and develop that talent so that they are able to make it big. Okay. So those are some of the areas of the things that you can do in order to enhance, develop, discover, and make your talent great.
Awesome. Very helpful tips here. Now, sometimes in the process of doing this, the child catches a fire, if I can put it that way, and becomes extremely passionate concerning that they are talented in. To the point that sometimes they go beyond healthy limits. They become so obsessed with that area of talent, to the point that the whole rest of their life, the other aspects of their life actually suffer. For example, if it is football, even when they go to school to study, they leave the classroom, others are studying, he goes behind the classroom to play the football. At break time, football. At lunchtime, football. In the evening, football. On Sunday, when you all go to church, he goes outside the church, behind the church, to play football. At the time when he's supposed to be washing utensils at home and cleaning the place and participating, he's in the compound playing football. So you will find that the person is so passionate about the area of talent, but it has caused him or her to put a stop on the rest of their life, on the other aspects of their life. So in that case, how would you help your child to stay balanced while pursuing their area of talent? Briefly.
Of course, we go back to this scripture, Proverbs 18:16, that a man's talent makes room for him, and makes him to sit with
the great.
The great. So, in order for you to sit with the great, you don't need only the talent. You need some other things, because So, what kind of language are you going to speak there? So there are other things that are important in terms of managing your talent in order for it to make room for you. There are so many talented footballers whose careers were shortened because of their public or nightlife. Let me say nightlife. There's a guy, there's a footballer called Adriano. He was a Brazilian, very hugely talented, but his drinking, derailed his football. Talent. So you have to balance your life. So as a parent, you are supposed to be there. Most young footballers have their parents as their managers. Okay. They're managing. All the air agents, they are managing what they are doing, even the clubs they go to. So as a parent, it's your duty to ensure that your child lives a balanced life. Yes, he has the talent, but he also needs other things, other aspects in life. You see, the way God created us, we are not supposed to be a one way. We're supposed to have other things, and multiple ends. Yes, multiple ends, and these multiple ends feed into each other for you to be a complete and a whole human being. Otherwise, if God created us with one way, it doesn't work. So much as somebody is talented, and I've seen it a lot, especially in the musicians, the dancers. Dancing is a wonderful talent, but sometimes maybe because of our, because of our undeveloped world, so you find somebody is being exploited to dance in nightclubs, in what, and they are still young people, to dance in videos of artists in a way that exposes their innocence. So you have to harness that talent, and you also have to look at like I've just said, many people have so many talents. So you just have to look at your child, the way you have brought them up, and you see what is good for her or for him, and you focus her or him on that line. Otherwise, the talent can end up actually destroying them.
Okay. Yeah. And as we come to the close of this program today, I am thinking about those fathers that force children to go and study certain courses. You know, he calls a meeting of his 4 children and he says, you will be a lawyer. I need you to be a reverend, a pastor. And then for you will be, you know, and they don't give attention to the natural abilities of these different children. They only force them to get into certain courses. In just less than a minute, what's your quick comment about them before you give your parting shots?
I think it is not necessarily a bad idea for a father to wish their children to take a particular path in life. But the question is, what is your basis?
What's your motivation as a father?
What is your motivation as a father for you to push your child towards a certain career? Is it because you want to fit in with other fathers who are in your league?
Or it's your failed dream, you wanted to be that and you failed.
You maybe wanted to be, or you are that, and so you want all your children to be like you. So much as you have all those wonderful motivations, it is important that whatever you decide you want to choose for your child should be based on their ability. Should be based on their ability and what they like. Otherwise, they might be frustrated in life because they can't measure up to what their father is demanding of them.
Your parting shots, my brother.
So,
in light of this topic of a father and his children's talents, what are your final words as we close the program?
You are a father out there. God has given you opportunity to father those children. And those children are immensely talented. God has gifted them in natural ways and in ways that you cannot imagine. So play your fatherly role of identifying those talents, discovering them, growing them, enhancing them, so that your child can grow holistically. It is important that you focus on the holistic development of your child, both in academics, in the spiritual life, but also in the natural ability that God has, blessed that child with and gifted them with. But also understand that not all children are cut out for academic excellence. Some children are cut out for co-curricular activity or talent activities. Those are going to be the source of their future. So try as much as possible, with the help of God, to bring up your child in a holistic manner.
All right.
God bless you.
Great. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Inspired Family Leader program, focusing on the father and his children's talents. As we have heard, these are natural inborn abilities. And there is a reason why the Creator decided to place those natural capabilities in your son, in your daughter. He wouldn't give them those talents in order for them not to use them while on earth. Most of us on earth are struggling with life simply because we are saturated pigs being forced into square holes. And so as a result, we are not able to flourish, to be productive, to be fruitful and successful. We can't tap into impact and significance because we are playing from our aspect of weakness instead of playing to our strength. As men who are leading our families, it's important that we pay attention to who our children are, naturally speaking. And we have gone away with a number of tips. For example, pay attention as your children are playing. Participate in their games so that you can watch them. Give the children an opportunity to participate in various activities. Involve them in home activities, home chores, and even in business. Let them mingle with other children outside the home in order to activate what they have within them. Ask them questions about what they enjoy doing and what they would like to do. And even ask them questions and continue to even ask for feedback from those that they spend a lot of time with, for example, teachers. That will help you to discover them. And go ahead and develop them. Create opportunities to develop them. Enroll them into appropriate schools that are relevant to their areas of natural gifting. Be present when they have the events and cheer them up. Offer them exposure in the areas of their talents. Put in some money to help them, to support them in developing those areas. Get them a coach, get them a mentor, and help them to remain balanced as they pursue these talents. I will end with a reference from John C. Maxwell. He wrote a book called Talent is Never Enough. So yes, we have talked about developing the talents of these children that God has blessed us with. We still need to remember that there is much more to life and success and impact than your talent. In fact, in that book, he talks about 13 other things that are required for your talent to be taken to global stage. Things like character, which protects your talent. Things like persistence, which keeps your talent moving. Things like practice, which sharpens your talent. Things like teamwork, which multiplies your talent, to mention but a few. Let's go and help our children to discover, to develop, and to deploy their talents. Live, love, and lead.
Just one wife. That you need the leadership skills of a general.
Yes.
To lead an army of one woman.
So we have to take a lot of pain, a lot of effort to teach children how to get along with one another.
Your raw material is money.
Of course.
But it is not your money.
It is not
That
yours.
is the biggest challenge. So if you do not fear God, you will end up misappropriating this money and taking it to be your own. Yet it is just what you're using to do the work that you're doing.
So ego is very dangerous to me, and we should avoid the extremes.
This program exists to equip, challenge, and empower men to expand their family leadership capacity for national transformation.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives.